Now joining us live in one of his very first interviews since he was selected as the Kenya Kwanza running mate, Mathira MP, Rigathi Gachagua. Mheshimiwa, thanks so much for joining us. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Were you aware that this was actually coming your way, Honorable Rigathi?
No. You see, many people do not understand this process. The picking of the running mate has been a continuous process for the last 6 months. And it has many parameters. And there were many things that the Deputy President has been quietly looking into: mobilization skills, civil service experience, ability to articulate issues, oratory skills, interpersonal skills. And the process yesterday was just seemed to hear the leaders. The ultimate decision was his, but he needed also to hear leaders from the region. We had Speaker Justin Muturi, Moses Kuria, William Kabogo, Mwangi Jure, Mithika Linturi, and he said, I want to hear what are your views, so that I join them with whatever else I have, and then I'm able to make an informed decision. And I have done a lot of research, and there are many things that I have for each and every candidate, but I decided that it is only fair that I also get your opinion, so that whatever decision that I make, we carry everybody along. And
yet, Mheshimiwa, it took, what, 17 hours all of yesterday?
Yeah, because you see what was happening is that other than listening to the members of parliament, the Deputy President made 30 calls in each of the 11 counties and talked to different people, women, youth, and collected their views. So it was a marathon exercise, because he didn't want to make a mistake. A running mate, you must get it right. You must get somebody you have similar chemistry, somebody whom you share policies, somebody whose working style is acceptable to you, somebody who also understands you, somebody with the right temperament. There are many, many parameters. It's not just talking to leaders. And I can tell you, he was making calls and putting on speakerphone people from Kiambu, what are you saying? People from Nyeri, people from Ranga, people from Nyandarua, people from Tharaka Nithi, people from Meru. And after all that was concluded right at night, then everybody told him, you're our leader. Your work is to make decisions. We have made our input alongside what else that you have, using what you had previously, and adding to what we have said and our opinions. We think you have sufficient information to make a decision. In fact, that decision would have been made last night, but he thought it was inappropriate to make such a momentous decision at night, because it would have negative connotations. So it was agreed that it goes forward the following day. But all the leaders present were in agreement that the running mate would deputize William Ruto. And it is his decision. Yeah. It's only that he invited them to give input. It is not that their input is binding. It was just complementing whatever else that he had that would assist him to make a decision. And unlike in Azimio, where there are committees doing interviews, the decision in Kenya Kwanza is the presidential candidate, because ultimately that will be your running mate, is a man who is supposed to assist you. People cannot choose for you, because people can meet and give you somebody that you cannot get along, or somebody who doesn't share your vision, or somebody who doesn't complement your positivities, or somebody who doesn't have the capacity to match your passion and zeal. Those are things he was looking at: passion, zeal, ability to wake up early, drive hard, come to vernacular station, defend positions, articulate the bottom-up economic model. All that is what he was looking at. And the exercise that was going on those 17 hours, it was not to decide who is the running mate. It was just to complement and empower him further with extra information, join with what he has, and then allow him to make a decision.
And you mentioned some of those MPs, their input was not binding, it was simply complementary in terms of his final decision. But in most of the voting cycles, they were not voting for you. They voted against you. That still says something.
I was not privy to the voting because I was not there, and I was not bothered. See, there was no election. You know, an election, the 2017 Maraga ruling said that the outcome of the results is as good as the process. An election has a date and a venue and a campaigning period. There was nothing like that. I was not campaigning because there was no election. He just asked, what is your opinion? And that is the opinion of members of parliament. Those are members of parliament. But it is the people of Kenya that you would consult. And he has consulted for the last 6 months. It's been a continuous process. That was just the tail end. And he thought it's appropriate to just call the elected leaders. And even all those leaders were there. We were with them today, there, saying this is the right choice, because at the end of it all, William Ruto is our leader. And the people respect him, and especially his decision-making process. And everybody knew he would make the right decision. And we told him, and it was in unison, it was unanimous, that our leader, whatever decision you make, all of us go along with it.
Mheshimiwa, let's not forget, you still have corruption allegations hanging over your head.
Oh yes. Those are allegations. Allegations is not a conviction. The Kenyan Constitution is very clear, Jeff, that you can only be barred from running for political office when you have been convicted and you have exhausted the mechanisms offered by the law for appeal. Let me tell you, these cases are as old as history. Nelson Mandela was jailed for 27 years in the Robben Island for terrorism. He came from prison to be the greatest president South Africa has ever had. Jomo Kenyatta, the father of our president, was jailed in Kapenguria on the trumped-up charges by the colonialists. He came to be the president of Kenya. My friend and brother, President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto, had cases against humanity, serious issues. But the people of Kenya elected them as president, as deputy president, and the cases were dropped. What has happened, Jeff, and it's good we put it on record, is that our government decided along the way to use the criminal justice system to stifle dissent, to force people to follow what the president wants. And when I was intimidated to support the handshake and I refused, the criminal justice system was set against me, and everybody knows. Because, Jeff, previously, my money I made during the reign of President Mwai Kibaki, and that's why many Kenyans made money. Between 2013 and 2017, President Uhuru Kenyatta was my buddy. We were always together. Nobody raised a finger as to what I own or where I got it from. But the minute the handshake came, and I was uncomfortable with it, and I started saying publicly, I don't support the handshake, I don't believe in it, because it's a fraud. I was intimidated, I was called, and I was told to support the handshake, and I refused.
So you're saying the corruption case is politically motivated? It's
politically motivated. And I want to tell you, it is 1 year since they arrested me. Nothing.
But
they say the cases will be...
Are you concerned about perception even still?
Doesn't matter. You see, if it was
practical
and real perception, that would be worrisome. But
perception
everybody
still goes
knows,
a long way, though.
It doesn't matter. Everybody knows all the highly publicized cases went nowhere. People are arrested, taken to court, newspaper headline, the matter is there. Because it's political. Mine is political, just like so many others. And the people of Kenya knows about it.
But Mheshimiwa, let's not forget, you're comparing yourself with the likes of Mandela and Jomo Kenyatta, but they weren't convicted or they weren't charged with allegations of corruption. They were freedom fighters.
I'm saying cases are cases. Doesn't matter the nature of the case. I am saying these are trumped-up charges. They have no substance. That is why the case has never started, because the state has not been able to provide any evidence. The fact that you arrest somebody in a high drama and publicize headlines doesn't make him a criminal. It is something that the state has been using to intimidate people. And I can tell you what has happened today. At the tail end of the president's tenure, people now have become stubborn. They are no longer threatened. That's how governors are joining us. Previously, no governor could come to William Ruto or his team because they would create charges immediately against them on false charges. And many people fear. Many people may not be like me. I don't buy fear because I'm a son of a freedom fighter. But many leaders had problems coming to join William Ruto. Why you have seen so many governors now coming is because the president now is lame duck. And you know the director of public prosecution has issued a circular saying he's not going to take anybody who is seeking for political office to court because of the perception. Because he is aware that Kenyans know many people who have disagreed with the president and the government have been arrested on trumped-up charges and taken to court to be punished, to be intimidated. Gachagua is a victim along that line. In the fullness of time, we are around, Jeff, and God willing, giving us life and good health. You tell me, since they took me to court, it's 1 year. Every time we go, we are not ready. Every time, why were you arresting somebody, sending 50 policemen to arrest him when you don't have evidence? That idea, and this is something our government, our new government will not allow. Nobody will arrest you and take you to court unless you have concluded investigations. It is against the Constitution to hold somebody on suspicion. First conclude the investigations. When you have a watertight case and it has been approved, arrest somebody, take him to court, and start the hearing the following week. But you don't arrest somebody and then you say you are looking for the evidence on mere suspicion. All these cases are political, and that is it. We are not bothered. Yeah. The people of Kenya elected Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto where they had crimes against humanity because they knew they are fabricated. The same will happen to me.
All right. Mathira MP, Rigathi Gachagua, thanks so much for your time. We wish you all the very best of luck as running mate for Kenya Kwanza.
Yeah.
Asante sana.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you for
really
coming
appreciate
in.
it.